channel. Today I'm going to be doing August podcast. So I have a lot to share with you. I've done all of the month of August. I have done 13 weeks of Halloween. So I have a few different Halloween projects to share with you, and a lot of other projects to share. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it because there is quite a bit here, and I only have 2 whips that I'm currently working on, so those are the ones I'm going to share with you. So I'm going to start off with these, and you'll have already seen these if you watched my I want to say it was 13 weeks of Halloween, week 4. So this is my little amigurumi ghost. So what I did is I took a marshmallow pattern, a crochet marshmallow pattern, and then I just added, it's 3 double crochets in 1 stitch and then a single crochet in the next, and I repeated that all the way around to create the like little ruffle here at the bottom, but they're super cute. And these are going to go out for my trick-or-treaters. So we're going to have a candy bowl and then a amigurumi bowl so they could take, candy and a toy. My goal is to have 10 by the end of October. So these are my first 2. Super cute. And I just stitched on the eyes because I don't know what age are going to be taking these. So I'm going to be stitching on all of the faces that I have for any of the amigurumis. But it turned out really cute anyway, and I seen a version of these much smaller. They were like really tiny on Pinterest, and they were like the marshmallow shaped type of amigurumi, and they were like all Halloween creatures, candy corns and Frankenstein's monster and ghosts and stuff like that. So I kind of just created my own version. It's a larger version. It's basically just the marshmallow out of a s'mores pattern. I will try and remember to link it, but things are kind of chaotic, so if not, just type in, I believe I got it on Pinterest. It's just a crochet s'mores pattern, and I just took the marshmallow portion out of it. So that was that, and this is my first hexagon cardigan that I have ever made, and it worked up so quickly. I made this in like 3 days of working on it consistently. I've been working on the Halloween things in between, but this was my main project that I worked over those amount of days. So this is what it looks like. And it is quite a bit larger than I would like. The sleeves are quite a bit more belled than I would like, and I only did a 3/4 sleeve on this because I didn't have enough room to decrease to the size that I wanted. So I just did a ribbing, and it goes to about 3/4 length. Which I don't really like, but it'll be fine. And I have since worked out the right size and the right way to work it out to where it fits the way that I want it to fit. But this is going to be really cute to wear with like any type of, like, I was thinking like a black dress or a black top. Be really cute for that. But it fits this way because when I made it to fit my measurement here and not the measurement for my sleeves. But it's just not really the way that I will wear it, but it's not really the way that I like my sleeves. I don't like my sleeves to bunch up in my coat. But it turned out really cute. And this is Red Heart Super Saver in polo stripes. And I don't know if you've seen my sweater video. I did a video on the sweaters I've made from the beginning of 2024 to now. And this was in it. And I was talking about how the polo stripes have changed So the outer portion, the bright portion, is old polo stripes, and the inner portion is new polo stripes, because I had 4 skeins of the older polo stripes, and then I thought I might need a little bit more, which I didn't turn out needing it for this sweater. But so I started off with the lighter color, and I don't think my camera does it justice. This is very much more muted, and this is much brighter. So keep that in mind if you're trying to buy new stock to go with a project that you have partially old stock with. It's probably not going to be the same. Obviously, they're getting cheap on adding the dye because they were much more vibrant when they came out than they are now. But that is my first hexagon cardigan. I finished my Halloween cardigan as well, so it turned out really nice. I like it. And I also had included this in that video. If you want to watch it, I'll try and remember to link it. If not, it's fairly recent on my channel, so it should be fairly close to the top. But this is what it turned out like. This is my Halloween sweater for this year. I really like it. It turned out really nice. I love how the sleeves are. It's perfect. So I did a V-stitch, just alternating the black and this really acid green, which is my favorite green from Hobby Lobby. I think it's I Love This Yarn or something like that. It's a Hobby Lobby brand, but it turned out really nice. It is a little warm in here, so I'm not going to leave it on, but yeah, I'm happy to have that finished and be able to wear it for Halloween. I think the last month I was just talking about it. I had it partially done, but I went ahead and finished it all off. The only thing I wish I had done different is I tried something new, which I don't like and I won't ever do again. I tried doing the ribbing all in one. Instead of doing, I normally do the bottom ribbing, and then I go back and do the front ribbing that goes around the neck. I tried to do it all in one thing, and I really don't like how it's turned out. It's making it curl, which is strange. But I did run out of black yarn for this, so my ribbing around the neck is not as many rows as I normally would do. I normally do 5 to 6 rows, depending on the yarn and what it looks like. But I did that, and I won't do it again. I'll go back to doing my ribbing on the bottom and then my ribbing that goes around the front around the neck. And I like that much better. I've done that. Yeah, I did that on this sweater. So see how it lays much flatter, because I did the ribbing. I did the ribbing around the front portion first, and then across the bottom, which I normally do that in reverse. I don't know why I did it like that, but it works just as well. So I won't be doing that type of ribbing again. The ribbing itself I will do again, but not having it just one piece. I just don't like it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this basket up here. So I finished a couple amigurumi that I had just sitting around, which are the cats. These are my pattern. I don't have any place that I'm selling my patterns right now. Etsy's just too expensive, and I wasn't making enough to actually be paying to post stuff. So I am thinking about maybe if I get enough patterns to maybe work things up into like a self-published book. But these are machine knit, so I don't know if I'll ever be able to get enough. I currently have, I'm looking up at my shelf, I currently have 4 patterns now that are machine knit amigurumis. So if I can work up a few more and actually be able to have like 10 or 15, then maybe I'll put it into a book. But for now, I just don't have time. My life is drastically changing by the day. I'm currently looking for full-time work. Our financial situation has changed quite a bit over the last few weeks, and I before I was staying home being a full-time author of my other books, and things have just changed, and our financial situation is not the same, so I have to go back to work full-time and probably still be a full-time author on the side, but I just don't have time to do stuff like this anymore. If I manage to do it over a certain period of time, I will let you guys know if I do manage to be able to get to publish a book. But for now, I just wanted to finish these. I did already have the pattern worked up and everything, and they did sell okay on Etsy when I had them on there, but not enough to continually to pay to have to post. How Etsy works is you pay to post each item in your shop. Then they take a percentage of what you make, and they take a percentage of when they transfer your money. So they take a huge amount out of all of your sales, and I wasn't making enough to compensate that. So anyway, they turned out really cute. I did do the tails a little bit different than I did on my last one. I should have actually come out here and got it and then went back and looked at what I did, but I kind of just winged it, and they're okay, but they're done. So that makes me happy to have another project that's just been sitting around finished. This is another one. It's just a scrunchie that I had sitting around with just a neutral type of yarn. I want to say this is that Dollar Tree yarn. I don't know. When I finished it, it didn't have the label on it because it's just been sitting here for, God, probably over a year now. So I just finished it. I was making a bunch of scrunchies before I took my break for my daughter, and I just never finished this one. So I finished it thinking that maybe when my hair gets longer, I'll use it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my hair stuff for later. This is another 13 Weeks of Halloween project. So it is a ghost hat. I seen a hat like this on Pinterest, and I chose to just do it out of my hat pattern. So this is my basic beanie pattern, and then I just did a shell stitch on the bottom. So that's 5 double crochet, or you start off with a single crochet, skip 1, 5 double crochets in the next stitch, skip 1, 1 single crochet in the next, and you repeat that all the way around. And I had the perfect number to have the shells be perfectly even all the way around, and I created this little bow off a tutorial. I don't remember who it was off the top of my head, but these are just the circles, just same as the hat. I have already talked about this hat in that video. I do have a whole playlist for the 13 Weeks of Halloween for 2025, so if you want to go and look at that, there's a whole playlist of it, so it's really easy for you to find, but it's super cute, and I can't wait to wear it. One of the other hats that I did is a candy corn hat, and I want to say this was for week 1 or week 2, I don't remember, but just a simple candy corn hat done in my basic beanie, and then I did 5 rows of each color. So really cute and festive for that. This is my crochet cross stitch hat, so I do have a pattern for this as well. This is just done in Crafter's Secret, and it's in pink. So I can finally put this back on the shelf up here. I rearranged my craft room. I don't know if you guys can notice, but I kind of rearranged some things. I put my filming desk over here, and I put all my yarn behind me so I could film in front of it. So I like this setup much better. But this is my cross stitch hat. I have a pattern for it. I will try and link everything below. If not, all of my tutorials are in a playlist on the channel. So this is really cute and really simple. I did another just basic beanie hat, and this is in Mandala Sparkle. And it is in the colorway Draco. So beautiful colors. And I did color correct this. So I took each color and I kind of chose where I wanted them instead of just following, because I would never get all of them in a hat. So I started out with this kind of bluey purple and then went into the purple and then into the pinks, and then there was this row of like lavender in between that started before the green. So I kind of color controlled it to be able to get all of the colors in it. And I don't know if you can tell, it sparkles. It's really cute. I want to try and put a flower on this, but it is finished for now. I have another this is another cross stitch hat from that same pattern. This is done in Mandala Ombre, and it is Siren. And I didn't color control on this one. I did this one first and then I worked on that other one, and that's the reason why I knew that I needed to color control on the next one. I just went with what was in the skein, which is like pinks and oranges. But it's cute. And then, like I said, I'm going to work up some flowers to go onto these hats eventually. But for now, that's what I have. So this one is it's going to be, or no, I do have a pattern for this, but it's different. This is for my ridged beanie. That hat is a ponytail hat, but you could easily just do the top portion of the basic beanie and then just do the ridged portion of the ridged pattern, and it would be perfectly fine. So this is just the ridged beanie. So you could go to the basic beanie pattern and do the first 5 rows or whatever it is, the increased rows of that hat, and then go back to the tutorial for the ridged beanie and then do the tutorial for that, and that would get you a normal hat that doesn't have like the ponytail hole in it. So super cute. The only problem about this pattern is it does leave a very distinctive line. I haven't quite figured out how to change that. No matter what I do, you can't not see it, but it goes at the back of the hat. Who cares? Really cute, super warm, and this is done in, I love this yarn, Prince, and this is Surprise Stripes. So it's that pink and gray and black that I really like. And then the next one is a cat hat, and I was trying to work out how, I cannot find my pattern that I wrote out for my cat hat. So I was trying to figure out how I did it by going and reworking the video. And how I do things for videos is not the same as I do things for myself. So it's too big. All of them turn out too big because I have a very tiny head, so I have to use a smaller hook and less rows than I would for a standard hat. But it's a cat hat. It's done in, what is this? It's Mainstays yarn in that black and white. I don't know what it's called, and I don't have I don't have a skein sitting around, so it's just that black and white and gray that Mainstays has. So it looks like that. It's too big, but I did go ahead and I slip stitched the ears this time instead of sewing them, which worked out better. So I'm going to rework a few more of these later, but right now I got sweater crazy and never came back to it, but it's super cute. I just need to do less rows because you start from the bottom on this hat. You start with the bottom and then work your way up, and then you seam the top. I just need to do less stitches and it'll be perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with the hat pattern itself. It just doesn't fit my head. But this is a tutorial if you would like. There's actually 2 tutorials. I did one in black the first time, and then I had a request to redo it in a lighter color because they couldn't see it very well. So there's 2 tutorials on this hat, so you could go check in that tutorial playlist and you'll be able to find them. So that's that. And then the last thing that I have is another Rosie the Riveter. And this is in a, it is a, I want to say it's a Hobby Lobby yarn. I want to say maybe I love this yarn, and it's that fall colored one that I've showed before. But it's just my Rosie the Riveter pattern. It's in that same playlist. And I think I'll just link that playlist below, and that way you'll be able to have all of my patterns for all of these, because there's so many that I just mentioned here. But this is my Rosie the Riveter. It's super cute for the fall, and it's kind of a neutral color, so should be very wearable with different outfits and whatnot. So that is my last finished project. I'm going to go on to my whips, and I only have... Okay, so I have another hexagon cardigan, and it's done in this Merry Maximum Value, and these are those 8-ounce skeins. I bought this years and years ago. I don't even know if they still sell this or not. But this one is 474 yards, and it is in the color dark rose. So it looks like that. I had 3 of these sitting around. I've already gone through one. This is what's left of the second skein, and I am almost... I'm to the point where I'm decreasing the sleeves now. So I've worked out how to make the hexagon cardigan fit me the way that I want it to fit. And let's see if I can do this without tearing anything out. So it fits, the sleeves fit a lot nicer. They're not quite as big. I probably should have still gone maybe 1 row shorter, but I can easily have enough space to decrease where I need to decrease. So I've already started the decreases on this sleeve, and what I have done in order to make it fit across my body is I did 3 rows on both sides of the front and the back to make it fit going this way as well. So it fits really nicely. It goes to about just above my belly button. So I will need to do a couple rows around the bottom and then my ribbing and all of that, and it should be the perfect size. And I'm going for the same like fit as my green and black sweater that I just showed. But I have enough room here to be able to decrease to the size that I want before I start the cuff. And yeah, so it's turned out so much nicer than the other one. It fits better. I have to figure out how I got myself all tangled up here. There we go. But I just had this yarn sitting around, and I wanted to use it for this sweater, and I I really like how fast the sweater works up. I would be done with this already if I hadn't got distracted by other things. Trying to finish up a few more projects before I had to film this. And then, like I said, life's crazy right now, so I would have had it finished by now if it hadn't been for everything going on. But it turns out really nice. You can't really tell that I added the 3 rows because it blends in pretty well. And it's going to be really cute, and it should, you know, it should fit fairly close to what that green and black one fits. It's going to be a little snugger than that one, but it's going to fit, it's going to fall around the waist where that one does, and it's going to kind of have the same cuff sleeves and around the collar and everything. So that is all I have to show this time, and I'll see you next time. Bye.